Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hrinam Sankirtan Yagya ki Jai, Srila Prabhupada ki Jai, the Gaur Bhaktivinoda ki Jai. We'll do more Kirtan or what do you suggest? What do you
have 50 down. What time is it? 5:30. 5:30.
Some more.
Yeah. So maybe something. What you want to do or what kids do? Let's see if they will do. I think they're off.
I have one.
Hare Krishna.
Hare
Krishna.
Hare Krishna. You can sit up also. Whoever wants to sit up on the sofa.
So I'm just very good at this. Just trying to learn. So if there is any mistake, so please excuse me. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare
Hare Krishna
call out as Mata Draupadi was calling, as Gajendra was calling, as Dhruva was calling, as Prahlad was calling. The time of distress, the time of happiness is the only call, like a baby who's lost, don't know where his or her parents are, searching for a true mother, a true father, the Supreme Lord Hari, Krishna, Mata, Krishna, Pita, Krishna, Dhanapran. Let's really call out with all our love and devotion, with arms raised high in the sky. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. One last time together. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Nam Sankirtana ki Jai. Yuga Dharma Nam Sankirtana Yajna ki Jai. Hare Krishna Mahamantra ki Jai. Golokira Premadhana Harinam Sankirtan ki Jai. Hare Krishna Mahamantra ki Jai. Prabhupada ki Jai. All the assembled devotees ki Jai. Vilas Prabhu ji ki Jai. Vilas Prabhu ji ki Jai.
We could start, Prabhuji, but before you start, can I introduce you very, very quick?
Sure.
Just a few lines. So, Prabhuji, this is our little association from Jackson. It's a small town, a small community. So, thanks for visiting us. Prabhuji is visiting us all the way from Tampa, Florida. Actually, even farther from Tampa. He lives even further away from there, just like our small town. But Prabhuji is a very, very spiritually advanced soul, and we, 4 of our families have been associating very closely with him. He conducts Bhagavad Gita classes weekly for our kids and for adults actually. And we have benefited so much from his association. Prabhuji's, I cannot say enough. He's working, he's a householder, and then he's doing all these extra services and seva for the temple and from the community all the way around. He has given us so much bhakti, so much devotion. Only somebody who has it can give something to somebody. So a few drops that we got from him, our life is transformed. So we just wanted him to meet the rest of our community, and maybe even if you look at a devotee like him, you can get covered on it. So I'm hoping that his lotus feet came to Jackson, to our homes, and now his blessings, with Krishna's blessings, we'll be able to get more and more of his association, and we're getting to hear some nectarian words from him. This is pure nectar spilling from a pure Vaishnava's mouth. So please, everybody, hear very closely and ask him many questions. He has answers to them all, coming right from the scripture, coming right from Krishna.
All of us can chant 3 times Hari Bol.
Hari
Bol! Hari Bol! Hari Bol!
Too much devotees are the nature that they're even in a place where there is no good, they see only good. Even there is none. That's the quality of great people. So I feel so blessed and deeply honored to be here actually, to meet all of you, such wonderful persons. All of you are very, very advanced in every aspect of life. So I feel so blessed actually to be here. So I think I can, will the cable come till here or I can sit down or whatever?
Prabhuji, we couldn't offer you a better Vyasasana, so this is our humble seat.
Cable is in there. It will come down. Or the might not record.
Okay. It's sitting here, Prabhuji, if you need it.
Okay. Oh, I think it.
Yeah, that's okay. You're good.
No, I'll sit here so you get context.
So this side?
That's it.
Oh,
Take it. Even coming like first time to such gatherings here? No, like first time?
To our association,
Yeah.
yes, Prabhuji, we have actually a couple of new fans, and well, they are new to town also, right?
Yes.
Almost a year. How? I think COVID made it hard for us.
I'm just sitting up because of the cable, not because I'm special. And that's for the cable, it can't get till there. So don't. So why are we here today, actually? Maybe can someone tell that why are we here? Like what brought you here or what inspired you to come? Because Mataji has made lofty promises. So I want to put me in a nervous spot, but I want to hear why some of you are here so that we can try our best to serve in that capacity. Anyone wants to share? Why are you here?
Anyone wants to share why you're here today? What brought you here? Instead of going to a disco or Navya is here because she's part of this family. I'm here for yeah, that's what I said. Navya is here. Any of the kids want to answer? What are we doing today? Why not watch a movie or something? Why are we here?
Because they all know that this is the special week of Guru Purnima. That means, everything is open, all the channels are open for blessings to be poured upon by your gurus. And guru can be anyone.
So we have this. Okay, that's better. Yes. Sorry, just technical things. So I think you're all here to, as Mataji said, to enlighten ourselves, right? From the holy scriptures like Ramayana, by chanting the holy names, by being in association of like-minded people. And we get that spiritual enlightenment, correct? Because it is said that we can choose very little things in life, right? Can we choose the weather? If it's raining, I want to choose it to be sunny. Can I control it? No. Can I choose the country I was born in? No. Can I choose my parents? No. Can I choose my height, the color of my skin? No. We can't choose a lot of factors. Practically everything is set. But we can choose one thing in life, and that is Sangha, the kind of company we keep. So it's my fortune that all of you are giving this wonderful association. All of you are so wonderful, bright, spiritually enlightened souls. And I feel so enlightened and blessed to be here. In the Srimad Bhagavatam, there is a nice verse Sadhunam samachittanam sutaram matkritatmanam darshanen na bhavet bandhu pumso akshino savituryatha. As the sun rises in the morning, the darkness is gone. Similarly, when one gets the association, the Sangha, the sun of the association of devotees, then the darkness in one's life goes away very naturally. This is the beauty of Sadhu Sangha. So today we will read or we will discuss something from the Ramayana, if that's okay with everyone. Who likes Ramayana? Who likes stories? Right? How many of you have heard stories from Ramayana? We've all heard multiple stories, multiple times from this epic Ramayana. And everyone loves it, right? So we will discuss today some stories, and not just stories, some hidden treasures behind the stories as well. Because a lot of people watch Ramayana, but very few try to go deeper and understand the meaning and the essence behind it. So we'll not just go through the stories, we will grow through the stories. But before we get started, it's very, very important to take blessings and to chant some prayers so that we can transport ourselves for the next some time and discuss about Ramayana. One person said that these days, technology is wireless, right? Food is fireless. Sweets are sugarless. Relationships are loveless. Income is less and less. Youth is jobless. Economics is shameless. Politics is shameless, right? And therefore life is baseless because life is godless. Because when God is out of the picture, then how can there be Ram Rajya without Ram? Right? We want Rama Rajya, the kingdom like Ayodhya, where everyone is very calm and peaceful, and we'll see today what's Ayodhya and what's Lanka. And how can we get Ayodhya, or how can we transform towards Ayodhya by developing that spiritual culture. So therefore, to make the life enlightening, entertaining, and enlightenment. So the stories from Ramayana are not just entertaining, they are certainly entertaining. Everyone loves them, right? Young or old, Indian or American, Ramayana is famous everywhere. But it's not just enlightening, it's enriching also to the heart, to the mind. So today we will see how some stories from Ramayana, some episodes from Ramayana, and because it's impossible to cover the whole Ramayana in 30-40 minutes. We can scratch the surface, but we'll cover some sections of Ramayana and some stories, and then we'll try to see some lessons. And in the middle also, feel free to share your thoughts, comments, corrections, feedback, and so that it's not just a monologue. And we can learn from each other. We can share this wonderful experience of learning from Ramayana today. If you agree with this, you can say Hari Bol loudly.
Hari
Bol.
Hari Bol.
Nasti Ganga samam tirtha, nasti matri samo guru, nasti Vishnu samo devo, nasti Ramayana param. Such beautiful words. There is no tirtha like Ganga. There is no better guru than a mother, Matri. There is no superior demigod or God than Vishnu. And nasti Ramayana param. It's a wonderful verse that there is no scripture like Ramayana. The glories of hearing Ram Katha, right? Because we all want to know what is in it for me, right? Why should I hear about Ram? Correct? Why should I not hear about Pokemon or Spider-Man? Because this is not a fictitious thing. It is not some mythology. It's our history. It's itihas. Lord comes to teach by his own examples. Apane acharan Prabhu is jivera sikhai. He comes in the role of a human being to teach so many great lessons. Bharjanam bhava bijanam arjanam sukha sampadam tarjanam yamadutanam rama rameti garjanam. The bija, the seed of coming back and forth in this material world will be fried away. That means that the seed will not fructify to any fruits. That person, what will happen? Will go back home, back to Godhead. No more suffering in this material world. Arjanam sukha sampada. Okay, what about this life? Tell me about this life also. I'll go back home after the life, but in this life also one will get sukha and sampata. Real sampati is wealth of Krishna consciousness. Because of the wealth of the material world, the thieves will steal, the government will take, or the ancestor, the progenies will take, the grandchildren, children. It will not go with us. But the real wealth, the real sampada is attaining the wealth of love of Krishna, love of God. That will go with us. That's our eternal wealth. Tarjanam Yamadutanam, that person will not have to face the face of Yamadutas. And Rama Rameti Garjanam. So we should garja like a lion, sing Jai Shri Ram.
Jai Shri Ram.
This is also from the beautiful verse. Om Jnanatimidandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurun Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatham Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhan Vitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Nabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namastute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Gurubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Eva Cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Pristhaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swaminiti
Namaste Saraswati
Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschat Deshatarine Mukam Karoti Vachalam Pangum Langayate Girim Yat Kripa Tamaham Vande Shri Guru Dinatarinam Paramananda Madhavam Shri Chaitanya Ishwaram Ramaya Ramabhadraya Ramachandraya Vedase Raghunathaya Nathaya Sitaya Pataya Namaha Dakshine Lakshmano Yasya Vamecha Janakatmaja Purato Maruti Yasya Tam Vande Raghunandanam Lokabhiramam Ranarangadhiram Rajivanitram Raghuvanshanatham Karunyarupam Karunakaram Tam Shri Ramachandram Sharanam Prapadye Manojamam Marutulya Vegam Jitendriyam Buddhimatam Varishtam Vatatmajam Vanarayuta Mukhyam Shri Ramadutam Sharanam Prapadye Jantam Rama Rameti Maduram Maduraksharam Aruye Kavita Shakha Vande Valmiki Kokilam Shri Rama Rama Raghunandana Rama Rama Shri Rama Rama Bharatagraja Rama Rama Shri Rama Rama Ranakarkasha Rama Rama Shri Rama Rama Sharanam Bhava Rama Rama Ramachandra Charanau Manasa Smarami Shri Ramachandra Charanau Vachasa Grinami Shri Ramachandra Charanau Shirasa Namami Shri Ramachandra Charanau Sharanam Prapadye Shri Ramachandra Charanau Manasa Smarami. In my mind, in my heart, I remember the lotus feet of Shri Ramachandra. through my Vani, through my Vachana, I will glorify the wonderful lotus feet of Sri Ramachandra. I bow down my head, Shira, at the lotus feet of Sri Ramachandra, and I take shelter at the lotus feet of Sri Ramachandra. Sri Ramachandra Bhagavan ki
Jai.
Sita Mata ki
Jai.
Sri Lakshman ki
Jai.
Sri Hanuman ji ki
Jai.
And I take blessings and bow down at the lotus feet of all the assembled devotees who are present here or who are present on the online forum, hearing us online. Vijaya Mataji, Namita Mataji, Manjulali Priya, and Abhishek Prabhu. Thank you so much for your kind association. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhya eva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha sadhunam samachittanam sutaram atkritatmanam darshanena bhavid bandhu pumsokshino savituryatha sadhu sangha sarva shastra koye lavamatra sadhu sangha sarva siddhi hoye. Often in life, people have this question, why is Ramayana applicable to me? Is Ramayana a story of India, right? Is Ramayana some fictitious tale? Is Ramayana some book like Harry Potter written by some author? The answer is no. And I want to give some examples from the world history actually, and you will be amazed to hear that. In Thailand, these are facts. If you don't trust me, you trust Google more than that, you can Google it. In Thailand, from 14th century to 18th century, you know what was the capital? Ayodhya. Ayodhya was the capital of Thailand. Coming from Ayodhya. There were kings up to Ram 1, Ram 2, Ram 3, Ram 4, Ram 5, Ram 6, Ram 7, Ram 8, Ram 9. These were the kings of Thailand. There are multiple places in Thailand, Indonesia, Egypt, etc., where have their history, these stories, which are like Ramayana. This Ramakiyan is coming also from Ramayana. And there are so many proofs. The name Mauritius actually comes from Marich. In the Ramayana, there is mention of Bharat. When there was coronation of Lord Ram about to happen, it is mentioned that Bharat was at his uncle's place, the maternal uncle, and he was coming with carts which were run by dogs and deers, reindeers and snow dogs, because the place where his uncles were was present-day Russia, Ukraine area. So, and it is mentioned that he was wearing the winter clothes. So there is so many instances and mention of this is the history of the whole world. Even in the other countries like Ethiopia, they say they are the Kushites. When Lord Ram winded up the pastime, he divided the land in two parts, Lava and Kusha. There is so much mention. In Thai kickboxing, there are words like Hanuman punch, Angad hold, right? And you can Google all this if you don't trust me. But this is all bona fide. Therefore, whatever I'm going to share here is not my concocted stuff. It's coming from the heritage, the parampara system, evam para praptam, evam parampara praptam, by the chain of disciplic succession, which we just saw here, from Krishna to the Narada, Brahma, Narada, etc. And in the present world, Srila Prabhupada, who at the age of 70 years, about 55 years back, came to the United States and started this revolution of the International Society for Krishna Consciousness. So we are so blessed. If it would not been for him, we would not have been here talking about Ramayana. Maybe we would have been watching some movie with some popcorns. So the point here is that it is very, very relevant. And now we'll see like multiple lessons from Ramayana. I'll share one lesson. I have 20 lessons. I'm not really sure if we'll go all the way there because of the time. But then after sharing the lesson about association, I want to talk about 3 cities: Ayodhya, Kishkinda, and Lanka. Ayodhya is top. Kishkinda is in the middle and Lanka is all the way down. It is not just they are geographically up, middle, and down. There are multiple differences in the ideologies, in the culture, in the value system. And we will see where do we fit, here, here, or here. But before I move to the cities, I want to talk about the association, the power of association. But these lessons, one of my teachers mentioned actually, you may have heard of God Gopal Prabhu, right? When he came to our college way back, he shared this lesson. How many of you been to Triveni Sangam? Anyone? In Allahabad? Oh, Prabhuji has been. So what is Triveni Sangam? Anyone knows? Yes, it's a confluence or the meeting of Ganga, Jamuna, and Saraswati. And for those who have been, I am also one of the fortunate ones who have been there. You can see the two colors merging, the Ganga and the Yamuna. The Yamuna is dark, Ganga is fair. So they meet. But then why? How do we know that Saraswati is meeting there? We don't see a third color. How do we see Saraswati? Anyone? Guesses?
It is underground.
No guesses? Confused? Yes, it's underwater. So we can't see through direct sense perception. And how Prabhu got to know that Saraswati is underwater? He heard from a bona fide source. So through the process of hearing, we will get to know the underground secrets. Therefore, in the path of bhakti, the foremost limb, as Prahlad Maharaj says, Shravanam Kirtanam Vishnu. Through the process of hearing, our senses are prone to defects, right? The senses are they have illusion, tendency to be illusion, tendency to make mistakes through direct sense perception, right? We can't understand through directly seeing ourselves, through directly hearing. Therefore, the right way to attain knowledge is through the bona fide guru, right? Whether it's in material world or material education, if we have to look for a music teacher, we'll not approach any Tom, Dick, Harry. We will approach a bona fide teacher who knows the science of music. Similarly, a lot of people read about Ramayana in India, Ramanand Sagar's, Ramayana. Who has not seen? Practically, for most of you are from the Indian background, practically everyone. You may have seen in your childhood or in TV series, the wonderful serials by Ramanand Sagar. But how many of those really take to a life of devotion? Try to apply those teachings. Very, very few. Very few. Why? Because we need to go underground. We need to understand the hidden treasures of Saraswati. So the things which we cannot perceive from our direct sense perception, we can understand when we hear, which we are doing today, from the bona fide teachers. So that's the beauty of Triveni Sangha. So we know this power of association. It can transform the best to worst and the worst to best. When Lord Ram got married and they came back to kingdom, Mata Sita and other family members, yes, one person was very happy. Everyone was very happy. One person was really very happy. Any guesses? When they came back to kingdom? Any guesses?
Bharat.
Kekai, yes. She loved Ram more than Kaushalya, more than Bharat. As a mother, she loved more than Kaushalya, and as a son, she loved her more than Bharat, her own child. And she was so happy that, the mother-in-law gives some gift to the daughter-in-law when she comes first time, right? So what gift she gave? Her husband, Dashrath Maharaj, had given her a Kanak Bhavan, golden palace. And she was so amazed to see Sita, her daughter-in-law, her daughter, and so loving, out of motherly love, out of great affection, and out of her wonderful qualities of Mata Sita, she said, "This is yours now." She gave her golden palace to Mata Sita. So much love she had, so much gratitude, so much motherly affection she had. But the same motherly affection, love, gratitude when mantra poisoned her consciousness, when Lord Ram was about to be coronated, mantra got to know that Lord Ram will be coronated from the servants of Kaushalya. And then mantra approaches who? Kekai. And guess what she tells? The Lord Ram is going to be coronated. And what happens to Kekai next? She was extraordinarily happy. She took out her golden necklace. Oh, mantra, this is for you. Golden. This is pearl necklace, very, very dear to me. You take this golden necklace, the pearl studded necklace. Very, very expensive. And mantra thought this didn't work out, right? And then she started to pollute the consciousness. She banged that necklace. Hell with this necklace. You know what is going to happen to you? If Ram becomes the king, Bharat becomes the servant. Kaushalya becomes the Rajmata, you become the servant of Kaushalya. Because she had hidden agendas. If Kaushalya becomes Rajmata, her servants will become superior to I'm the servant of the mother whose son is not the king. So I'll be subordinate to them. Out of envy, she polluted the consciousness of Kekai. And that same Kekai asked for the boon to send Ram to forest. The same Kekai who gave the golden necklace or golden palace to Mata Sita later had to bring the 3 barks. You wear this and get out of here. So this is the power of association. It can bring the best to worst. Are there any positive examples also? Absolutely. How many of you heard this? Who's the author of Ramayana, the famous? Valmiki. And anyone knows who was he in the previous life or the past? A robber, a dacoit whose name was Ratnakar. And Narad Muni met him. The dacoit wants to loot. He said, Narad Muni, give me whatever you have. He said, I don't even have pockets. People keep a lot of pockets to keep a lot of stuff in there, mobile, car, this, that, everything is in the pocket. You know, earlier the Vedic clothes don't have pockets. Sari, dhoti, uttari, they don't have pockets. There's a hidden meaning to it. That we came empty-handed, we'll go empty-handed. But nowadays people want to wear jeans with 6 pockets, 10 pockets, 11 pockets. So you can keep more and more stuff in there. But Narad Muni said, I don't have anything. Right? He said, you must have something. He said, okay, you can check, inspection, nothing. But he then told, you know what's going to happen to you for all the things you're doing? And Narad Muni kind of revealed and asked him, why don't you chant the name of Ram? He said, I'm so sinful. I can't chant Ram. I only know how to kill. Kill means mar or mara. I only can chant. And Narad Muni being an expert physician, a lot of your physicians here, an expert physician knows how to help the patient from his or her current condition. Narad Muni being a spiritual physician knows how to uplift. And actually everyone is a spiritual physician, a teacher to uplift the child, a parent to uplift the child from their current condition, not to compare with this patient is better or this patient is better. How a teacher, how a parent, how an expert guru can help the disciple to lift from their current situation. So what did he say? He said, okay, you can't chant Ram. Why don't you chant Mara? He said, yeah, that's what I can do. That's what I do every day. Mara, 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 Mara. Everyone chant. Mara, 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 Mara. Isn't that amazing? So from Mara, it becomes Ram. From dacoit Ratnakar, he became the great Valmiki Muni who wrote Ramayana. So there is hope for everyone. No matter whatever past is, there is hope for everyone. That's a wonderful lesson. Every saint had a past, every sinner has a future. if we are ready to take association of great souls like Narad Muni. Sadhu Sangha Sarva Shastra Koi Lava Matra Sadhu Sangha Sarva Siddhi Hoy. Lava Matra Sadhu Sangha. Even moment of association of a devotee can transform us. So now we'll talk about these three cities, right? What are the three cities? Ayodhya, right? Kishkinda, where Wali and Sugriv were there, and then the Lanka. So we'll discuss multiple points. First of all, geographically, where is Ayodhya? Up. Yeah. Where is Kishkinda? In the middle. And what? Ayodhya, all the way down. Satogun, Rajagun, Tamogun, right? Urdhvam gachanti sattvasto, madhya tishtati rajasa, tamo gachanti tamasah, adho gachanti tamasah. How many of you feel that you live like in, let's just discuss first some of the aspects of these cities and then we will see. Where do we stand and how can we help us to move up, right? From Lanka to Kishkinda to Ayodhya, right? And we'll discuss these multiple aspects. That how in Ayodhya there is Samskriti. In Lanka there is totally opposite, Vikriti. And we'll discuss these words also. And then in Kishkinda there is something called Prakriti or nature. So the culture of gratitude is very, very important in one's life. What happens to us in most scenarios? One great person said that we should always remember if someone has done good to us. And we should always forget if someone has done bad to us. We should always forget that. And if we do good to others, two things to remember, two things to forget. What are the two things to remember? Who will say?
We should always remember what if someone has done
Good to us. We discussed that. And if we have done wrong to others, we should always remember that. That will help us to not repeat that mistake. Correct? To err is divine, to err is human, to forgive is divine. But to repeat the same mistake is not good, right? And what are the two things to forget? If anyone has done bad to us, we should forget that. If we can't forgive others for what wrong others may have done to us, how can we expect God to forgive us of our shortcomings? Is anyone here who has no shortcomings? Everything perfect, no mistakes ever? We all make mistakes, we all have shortcomings, and we're all trying to improve, right? So, the time of coronation of Lord Ram and Mata Sita, when they had come back, the time of coronation was about to happen after the exile. And they were throwing these colors, like, colors, festive mood, season. So the red color was being thrown, and then Mata Sita was lost in some thought. Lord Ram could recognize that Mata Sita is absorbed in some thought, and then he asked, "Hey Sita, what are you thinking about?" And she said that this color reminded me of the sacrifice of Jatayu. When Ravana was chopping off his feathers, his wings, a stream of red color, his blood oozed out. And seeing this red color, I'm being reminded of the sacrifice Jatayu made. Killing or sacrificing one's own life for the sake of others. The level of selflessness. That's the culture of Ayodhya. To remember the good others have done even at the time of being coronation. It's like a, like the D-Day, right? And Mata Sita is thinking about the sacrifice of Jatayu, never forgetting what others have done good, being grateful in all circumstances. Kishkinda falls in the middle. They are sometimes grateful to some people when they feel like, or when they are reminded of it. Lord Ram did friendship with Sugriva in Kishkinda, and the pact was that Lord Ram will help Sugriva to kill Vali, and then Sugriva and his team would help to search for Sita Mata. That was the deal, right? You all must have heard this story multiple times. But what happened next? When Sugriva got back the kingdom and Vali was dead. By the way, there is a very nice lesson. Like Lord Ram killed Vali from behind. We will discuss that later. So when Sugriva got the kingdom, the time of Chaturmas started. Heavy rains. And travel was stopped. And so no search parties could go. But when the 4 months of Chaturmas ended, then also Sugriva had forgotten that he had made a promise to Lord Ram, that I will help you to find Mata Sita. Then Lakshmana had to be sent to remind him. Lord Ram told Lakshmana that looks like Sugriva has forgotten his promise. So you show some fear to him that the path with which Vali was sent is still open. But don't scare him so much that he runs away from us. Scare him little that he comes to us. That's a very great quality of a leader, of Sri Ram. So Lakshmana said, oh, why did I kill him? Lakshmana was always like, black and white. Just kill him. Anger. Too much anger. Of course, transcendental anger. The Lord, He's the Supreme Lord, Balramji. But Lord Ram, there's always shades between black and white. So we should not miss the gray zone, right? Lord Ram told, scare him so he comes to us. Remind him. Give him a chance. Lord gives, and forgives. Right? Opposite, we'll study Lanka. Gets, and forgets. Lord Ram, always merciful. Karunavataram. So then Sugriva was reminded, and then he understood that he made a mistake, and then he was grateful. But he was reminded. So in the middle somewhere. But what happens to Ravana? He was worshipping Lord Shiva. And then Lord Shiva gave him a lot of boons. And he got boons. And then he said, he pleased Lord Shiva. He was about to lift Kailash also. And he said, what do you want? He said, I want your wife, Parvati. The one who was ready to, bless him, rather than being grateful, being envious, right? That's the quality of Lanka. Getting, and forgetting. Never grateful for the good others have done. Because they can't see, they only see the good they have done to others. Even if it is a micro fraction, they will see that as a million things. Others may have done million things, they will see only the faults in them. So we have to see, where do we stand in gratitude? The culture of Samskriti in Ayodhya, the culture of Vrikriti in Lanka, or the culture of Prakriti, sometimes here, sometimes there. Reminded, okay, I'll be grateful. Otherwise, busy in one's sense gratification, lost in one's own world. Like Sugriva was lost. The Guru had to come and remind him. Lakshmanji is Adi Guru. So that's the first aspect of the culture. We'll discuss multiple aspects actually. Then we'll talk about the relationship aspect. In all three places, the relationship between brothers is seen. Who are the brothers in Ayodhya? Two brothers mainly. Ram, Lakshman, Bharat. So Ram and Bharat we'll talk about. Who are the two brothers in Ayodhya, Lanka? Mainly, what are the four? Ravana and Vibhishana. You'll see. And the two brothers in Kishkinda? Sugriva and Vali. It's interesting, right? So we'll see their relationship dynamics. They were all fighting. They were all fighting, but for different causes. Bharat is said, Bhar Bharati iti Bharat. Bharat is the most misunderstood personality in the whole Ayodhya. Right? When Bharat Maharaj, when Kekai asked for these two boons, was Bharat aware of that?
No.
Did Bharat do a match fixing that, okay, I'll go out and then you ask so that no one knows that I actually asked for it? No. He was totally unaware of this whole plot. This is called misplaced compassion. Trying to help others. When Kekai was there, Bharat came back. Bharat was called from his uncle's place from Russia region in winter time to come back to Ayodhya. He was totally unaware of this whole plot. And then guess, Kekai said, well, I have cleared all the thorns from your path. What are you talking about? Thorns from the path? What was the thorn? What was the path you're talking about? He loved Bharat more than his own life. He loved Ram. Ram loved Bharat more than his own life. Bharat loved Ram more than his own life. That's a relationship between brothers. Real relationships. Selfless relationships. They were fighting, but they were fighting that you are better than me. He said, no, you are better than me. Same as in Vrindavan. Nanda, Sunanda. He said, you rule the kingdom. He said, no, you rule the kingdom. You are better than me. You have better qualities. So, when Bharat came, people said, oh, see, the Bharat had come. Now you can rule freely. That's what you wanted. Right? Now, see, Ram is gone. And just think about how much it would hurt someone's heart when people blame for the crime or the offense which someone has not committed. But he never gave, he was just serving the kingdom as a servant of the Charan Paduka. Shri Ramachandra Charanau Shirasa Namami. Shri Ramachandra Charanau Vachasa Grinami. Shri Ramachandra Charanau Manasa Smarami. Shri Ramachandra Charanau Shirasa Namami. Always remembering about Lord Ram, always thinking about the lotus feet, the Charan Padukas of Lord Ram. He never considered himself as a king. He always, when Lord Ram was in the kingdom sleeping on the bed, where would Bharat sleep? On the floor. When Lord Ram was in the forest sleeping on the floor, where was Bharat? Yeah, lower than the ground. He was in the outskirts of the city. He didn't live in the palace enjoying facilities. He also tied jata jute and everything. That if my brother is living like a renunciate, a mendicant, how can I wear those kingly robes? If my brother is eating only kandamula, only dry fruits and roots, how can I enjoy? That's the spirit of selflessness. And was Bharat Maharaj would go and take bath in the Sarayu river at 2 a.m. in the morning. People, why? Why would he take bath? Okay, he was a very noble soul, but still 2 a.m. is a very odd time. Even, the sadhus, they get up like 4:30, so in the Brahma Muhurta, take bath. But 2 a.m.? Well, everyone was sadhu in the kingdom of Ayodhya. So they were all following the Satogun. They were all getting up very early in the Brahma Muhurta. but everyone else would come around 4:30. He didn't want others to blame him and be a victim and them become a victim of Vaishnava Aparadh or Aparadh to their king. So to avoid that kind of meeting, he would, he would not say, I'm the king, you don't come until I'm done. He would adjust, he would mold himself to serve his citizens. This is true servant leadership. Not mold the people to serve him. Right? So many lessons are there from our holy scriptures. And he was serving the very people who were blaming him. He was saying, oh, look at this Bharat. He's the person. Because of him, Lord Ram is not with us today. But still, he would do his best to serve all of them as a servant of the Charan Padukas of Lord Sri Ramachandra. So this is the loving relationship between the brothers. When Bharat got to know, finally he clarified that this is not me. I was not the one who made this evil plan and plot to send Ram out. I am innocent. Please try to understand me. Please don't blame me. My heart is burning. I'll give up my life. And then he, with all his army, with all the soldiers, all the residents, came to Chitrakoot, the famous place where this meeting of Bharat and Ram, Bharat Milap, happened. Till date, I've been fortunate to go to Chitrakoot and seen this, holy place. And this is, till date, actually, this place is, till date means the last I experienced was like, and till date, this, you can go to these places. Lord Ram spent over 10 years here out of the 14 years, a significant time. Sorry, I think he moved after that, but a very, very holy place, untouched by modern things, or very little influence, let's say. Very, very sattvic atmosphere. So it's in our to-do list when we go to India to go again, because I've been telling stories to my wife and then she's very excited to go. And I always tell, okay, whenever we go to India, we'll go here because I really like this place. And there is like in Govardhan, you have Vrindavan in Govardhan, there's Kamadgiri Parvat also here. There is Sita, there's so many holy places in here. So the rocks melted when Lord Ram and Bharat embraced. The rocks melted because of the selfless, loving relationship between these brothers. And actually, when I come here to Jackson, I see that this community is very, very special because everyone is so selfless and has a loving and caring attitude towards others. This is very, very rare. It's not a big thing to have 5,000 friends on Facebook. It's not a big thing, right? Just keep adding, then you'll get 5,000. But it's a very big thing to have a friend who is always, who has a genuine selfless relationship, or a community, or any any relationship, brother, husband, wife, family, daughter, son, in-laws, parents, any relationship. When the relationship is on these principles of selfless love, what did Bharat say? No, my dear brother, you please come back. We can't live without you. Ayodhya is forest. What's the use? We all will stay here. If you don't come, we will all stay here. We're not going back. We have decided. Lord Ram said, no. Raghukula Reet Sada Chali Jai Prana Jai Par Bachan Na Jai. I have given the words to my father. Right? You please rule on. He said, no, I can't rule. And then finally, he took the Charan Paduka. I am just a servant. Jivira Surupa Krishna Nityadas. You are the master. This Charan Padukas will rule. I will just a caretaker. But remember, Lord Ram, my dear brother, if one day you delay from 14 years, then you will not see me. Lord Bharat had made a fire pyre ready. If one day there is a delay, I'll enter the fire. 14 years. When Lord Ram was about to come after finding Sita Mata and after, getting everything, Lord Ram sent Hanuman, just go and see what's Bharat's mood. Things change in 14 years. right? People change, friends change, relationships change. 14 years back, he was very kind and Hanuman being an expert in everything, he could sense just by seeing the face, facial expression, you can tell the mind. The face is the index of mind. This Prabhupada's purport in the Bhagavatam. Face is the index of mind. So you can tell what a person is. And especially, we may not be able to tell, but Hanuman was no ordinary person. He could certainly tell. So he said, even if there is slight unrest in the mind of Bharat, he's for not like a fraction of a, even if like some moment you see that he won't be happy to see me, or he won't be happy, then let's not go, because he's happy with the kingdom. So Hanuman went and checked it out, and then this story that he said the fire is still ready, the matchsticks are ready, everything is ready. One day late, you'll not see me. That means for 14 years. Just imagine, it was not 14 hours he will come back, or 14 days, or 14 months, 14 years. Constant absorption in the service of Lord Ram. Serving the people who were blaming him, to serve not attached to the position, attached to the seva. He could have enjoyed the kingdom. He could have enjoyed the kingly robes, the facilities, the gold, the rubies. No, he was attached to seva. What do the modern leaders are attached to? Position, better position, and the perks which come with the position. Service, who cares about service, right? So this is Bharat. Bharat wants Lord Ram to rule. Lord Ram wants Bharat to rule. This is their loving relationship. And Kishkinda, Sugriva, and they were also fighting, right? The fight of misunderstanding. So you may all have heard this story, but this is very nice lessons are there. When and please let me know if you're getting bored, you want me to stop, I'll pause at that time, or if it's getting too much, Dashamati, let you sense the pulse and keep guiding me when how long I can go, and I will go accordingly.
Yeah, I think we can keep going till 6:45 till 7 or 7.
Sure. Yeah. So they were also fighting, and Sugriva, and they were good brothers actually, but they were Mayadanav attacked, and you know the story that Vali had to enter the cave, and Sugriva was guarding the cave. Days passed by, no one came out, and there were sounds. Sugriva, Sugriva. Same as the golden deer Marich made the sounds of Ram, Ram, Lakshmana. This Mayadanav made the sounds of Lakshmana, save me. Oh, sorry, Sugriva, save me. But Sugriva was smart. He knew the sound of, and he didn't have his wife to tell him that or Bali's wife to tell him that you go. He was smart. He knew this is the sound of Mayadanav. But then the blood started oozing, and it's a very long story, a lot of details are there. He put the stone on the mouth of the cave so that the demon could not come. It seemed to him that Bali is probably killed. He didn't have chance to clarify. He didn't intentionally want Bali to die, but he wanted to protect the citizens of the kingdom, Kishkinda. So even if Bali is not dead, then he's strong enough. If I can move this mountain, he's much stronger than me. He'll just knock it off. But if he's dead, we don't want Mayadanav to come out and hurt the kingdom. So he put the stone. And then Bali somehow took some time and got out. And this is called jumping to conclusions without proper understanding. Is one of the biggest mistakes. In any aspect of relationships, work, the worst jump is the jumping to conclusions without proper communication, without clarification, without understanding. there's a famous book. They say, seek first to understand, try to understand, then try to be understood. So try to clarify things, try to communicate, rather than, so Vali jumped to conclusion that if Sugriva has done this, he'll go to Yamlok. And he got to know that yes, Sugriva had done that. But Sugriva was not the person who said, I'm there to rule the kingdom. I've been ruling it for a few weeks now. Now you're out. He said, no, brother, you're back. He didn't get chance to clarify that, but his mood was, okay, brother, you're back. You please rule. The only intention was to save the lives of the other people who are left, to protect from Mayadana. But he didn't get chance to communicate, or because if someone is not willing to listen, you can't really communicate. So we should be willing to listen before jumping to conclusion. We should be open to at least giving a chance for others to share what they have to say before we jump to a conclusion and decide something in a hurry. So they fought, and then there's a Ram, and they did friendship with Sugriva, and then Sugriva was killed. Sorry, Vali was killed by Lord Ram's arrow, and so Vali basically represents our kind of distractions, allurements. If someone really likes sweets and sweets are in front of him or her, then half of the energy is there. They can't say no, right? Anyone have experienced any allure, anything you really, really like, and it's right in front of you, and you can't say no. 50% energy is gone. So Wali is like that. 50% energy he'll take. Then you can't really, because his energy plus 50% of your energy, then there's no question of winning over, right? Because then 50 plus something. And Wali was the one who actually could defeat Ravana. There's another story also about that. So we should not try to face if we are face to face with our allurements or distraction, that will be hard to say no, right? We should try to avoid the asat sangyag a Vaishnavachar. His Holiness Radhanath Swami Maharaj, my spiritual master, says in their society called Alcoholic Anonymous, those who are addicted to alcohol, it is said to them very, very clear, never ever see a bottle of alcohol. Never ever meet people who drink alcohol. Never ever think that you will go to a bar and then you will drink just lemonade there. Because you're face to face with your weak point. 50% energy is gone. You will not be able to say no. It's just a matter of time. Association is very powerful. Even if someone is just drinking lemonade, just after a few weeks, he start drinking other things as well. Going to a bar. So, asat sangyag, we have to be careful in the association. Can help us to excel in any direction and can degrade us to the worst of the worst. So, association very important. So, Bali, this is the friendship, and then basically sometimes here, sometimes they're on the verge. So we have to ask this question. There are 3 types of vanara. There's a t-shirt these days, being human, right? Killing innocent animals, but being human. Causing harm to the environment and to the other people, but just by wearing a t-shirt will one not make one a human, right? It's the spirit of consciousness, right? It's what's in one's heart. In Kishkinda, there are 3 kinds of vanaras. One has the pravritti of Ayodhya, Hanumanji, always serving the lotus feet of Sri Ramachandra. One has the pravritti of Kishkinda, that is Vali. He forgot, but was grateful when reminded, helped Lord Ram, Sugriva. In the middle, somewhere here, sometimes here, floating around. Lanka pravritti, Ayodhya pravritti. But Bali had the pravritti of actually Lanka. He became friends with Ravana. One time Bali was doing Gayatri. And Ravana got to know that this person is very powerful. If I either kill him, then I'll be the most powerful. So he came to kill and tried to tie Bali. But Bali extended his tail and caught Ravana in his tail and was jumping over mountains, oceans. And Ravana said, "Don't insult me like this. I accept defeat, but this is very insultful. At least catch me in the arms. There's some little respect as a Kshatriya." Bali was so powerful. And then they had this pact that if you can't win over, that's a policy of demons. If you can't win over, then become friends. So they became friends. They had a yajna and this, okay, whatever is yours is mine. Whatever is your strength is my strength. My wealth is your wealth. Your wealth is my wealth. My associates are your associates. Your associates are my associates. So he became friends. He had a pravritti of Lanka. Now, given a lot of good advice. Ravana was given good advice. Can anyone tell who gave good advice to Ravana? Vibhishan, anyone else? Mandodari, anyone else? Marich, anyone else? Kumbhakarna. See, all of you are so scholarly actually. He was given good advice by so many people. So many other people also gave good advice. But the people who are so puffed up in their own self, they can't see the good coming from someone else. Ahankara vimudatma kartamiti manyate. I'm the doer, I'm the best. There's no one better than me. How can someone advise me? Impossible. Bali was also given good advice. Anyone tell who gave good advice to her? Wife. What was the name? Tara. Tara said, this Sugriva is challenging you. He used to run like a mosquito with you. But now, and I've also heard that some brothers have friended him. So better you not go. It's not safe for you. And I don't see auspicious signs. But Bali said, I am the Bali, right? Who can defeat me? I've defeated Sugriva so many times. When one gets puffed up with pride, one cannot see good coming from others. Lanka pravritti. But totally opposite is Ayodhya pravritti. Lord Ram would always take consent from his council of ministers. Dashrath Maharaj would always take consent, discuss before making important decisions. So we're also ruling this government here of our own mind and senses. We must not rule it by our corrupted mind and senses who want to push us down, but rather we should rule it by intelligent Guru, Sadhu and Shastra, through saintly association, through holy scriptures. Let the words of the teachers guide us, not our corrupted mind and intelligence. Otherwise, the destination will also be accordingly, either like Ravana or like Hanuman. So, this is what kind of human we are. Hanuman, Bali or Sugriva. So we discuss about the relationships. And then there is also mention about experience, that there were no shops selling locks in Ayodhya. That means there was no culture of stealing. Everyone was so self-satisfied and happy with what they have, not envying, oh, this person has more, why I have less. This person has a bigger house, why I have a smaller house. This person has a better car, why my car is smaller. Or has a better job, or a better this, or better that, better. This is Ravana mentality. Ayodhya mentality means happiness. There's no question of stealing. There's no question of locks. Because everyone is happy, grateful, encouraging, loving, selfless, caring. Real relationships. Because whatever is there is arranged by the divine will of the Lord. We have to be grateful about it and accept as a divine arrangement of Lord. And use those. If someone has more intelligence, use it in the service of the Lord. If someone has better degrees, use it in the service of the Lord. If someone has more wealth, use it in the service of the Lord. Because He's the one who gave us everything. If someone has, whatever, everyone is blessed with something or the other. Variety is the flavor of life. Someone is good in singing, someone is good in managing, someone is good in dancing, someone is good in organizing, someone is good in fundraising, someone is good. You know, in an organization, there are different people. It's not all are same. All don't do same activities, right? Everyone has their unique strengths. Rather than envying others, like in a garland of flowers, there are beautiful, colorful garlands. If the flowers are all same, it's nice, but it's not as appealing and beautiful if the flowers are all red, yellow, purple, green, you know, different fragrances, different colors, right? That's much more appealing. And they're not competing against each other. Same with the organs of the body. Is hand better or leg better? Or eyes better or ears better? They're not competing. One day actually they decide to compete. Actually, this belly is eating, eating, eating. Hands are moving, picking, doing, kneading the floor and cooking, and eyes are working, legs have to go. They said we'll do a hunger strike. No more, no more. This belly is just sitting and eating. Story from Panchatantra. Very nice. How many have heard this story? Okay, I'll share only one or two I've heard. How many of you want to hear this story? So hunger strike, no cooperation. We will not cooperate. This belly is just eating, eating, eating. And we are the ones who have to go to the grocery store. We are the ones who have to, work in the office. So what does belly do? Just eats. The teeth said, oh, we have to chew so much, right? Wills are not. No cooperation. He said, we won't move. We'll sit like the stomach. And guess what? A day passed. The hands are very tired, not moving. 2 days passed. They're not consumed any food. The eyes are weary. When will this class stop? When will we get food? There is enough prasadam for everyone, so don't. So legs are also. And then a saintly person told them, if you want to get your strength, then you have to serve the belly. The belly is selfless. She doesn't take all the strength, but rather she'll distribute the strength. Like we water the root, all the twigs, branches, leaves, fruits, flowers get watered. We don't individually, 2 drops for this leaf, 5 drops for this leaf, 5 drops here, 2 drops here. We don't do that, right? We water the root. And then, by the arrangement of the Lord, everything is nicely watered. So, where was I? The story of? Stomach. And how did we reach there? Selfless service. So by serving the Supreme Lord, we'll be grateful. The story. So we just talk about the locks, and then we talk about stealing. Lanka means stolen property. One day, when British Museum, one day they have all the stolen. This thing is stolen from here. This thing is brought from here. This Kohinoor diamond from here. Lanka is okay. I like Pushpak Viman from Kuvera. Steal. I like this from here. Steal. Ravana stole multiple kings' wives, right? So stolen. Because of envy, I can't see someone having better things than me, so I'll steal. I'll try to, harm the other person, kill the other person, and steal his or her property or his or her things, or just kill altogether. So I can be better. Tendency to show that I am better than everyone else is Ravana. But Ayodhya is humility. Ayodhya is gratitude. So this is about the locks and going through the mistakes. So a lot of people, in Ayodhya, there is no question of making mistakes. Absolutely, perfect. Lord Ram never made a mistake. He's the Supreme Lord. But Ravana, even after making multiple mistakes, not learn. There are 4 kinds of people. One who make unlimited mistakes and never learn from them. Never try to correct them. Never try to remember them. Never try to rectify them. Ravana, Lanka. Others is next level. They make mistakes, but they don't repeat it. They go through the experience. Okay, I did this. It hurt me, or whatever consequences were not good. Let me not repeat it. Let me rectify, remember, and not repeat. There are 6 paths to know how to handle the mistakes. 6 R's. You want to hear about the 6 R's? How to handle the mistakes? What's the first R? Is we have to first we have to retrospect, right? To introspect, then only we'll realize it. You have to introspect that what I did wrong. Then only if one is not introspective, then one will not realize. So first is to retrospect or to do some self kind of analysis. Then we will realize it. And then after realizing what? We should, first is reflect actually. Reflect or retrospect, reflect. We reflect upon the situation. Then we will realize the mistake. And then remorse, very good. You're an expert. Or regret, right? You should be, if there is no regret, then there is no propensity to rectify. If one thinks, no, I didn't do anything wrong because I'm the best. How can I do wrong, right? Duryodhana mentality, Ravana mentality. He never, multiple people gave him good advice, but he never reflected, never realized that he's doing something wrong. In the fag end, his sons were dying one after the other. Still, he was so adamant upon his own nature that, no, I cannot do wrong. How can I bow down? All my sons are, Eko, Eko ham dvityana asti. I am the one. There is no second Ravana. That's the pride he had. So, we regret or remorse. Then we rectify it. We should do something good about it. Otherwise, what's the use of making, we should try to rectify it. If we said, let's say, harsh words to someone, we should apologize and genuinely from the heart. And then we should remember it. We should remember the mistakes we made. And we should repeat not. So that was so in Ayodhya, there is no question of making mistakes. Even in the battlefield, Lord Ram first shoot an arrow at the feet of Ravana. Because you are a great Pandit, I offer my respects to you. Gave multiple chances to Ravana to do, peace. That if you take shelter, I'll forgive you. Although you have done a lot of wrong, but I am ready to forgive you. Sakrit eva prapannaya tavasmiti yachatet abhayam sarva bhutebhyo dadami etadvratam mama. Sakrit, even once, right? Sakrit eva prapannaya tav asmi. Lord Ram, I am yours. Krishna, I am yours. Let's everyone from our heart say, Lord Ram, I am yours. Lord Shri Ram, I am yours. Tavasmi iti yachati. Iti ye yachna karta. That means who from the heart says, I am yours. Abhayam gives fearlessness. Abhayam sarva bhutebhyo. Everyone, whether one is friendly or envious. If Ravana would have come, Lord Ram would have easily forgiven him, but he didn't want to bow down because of his own pride. His pride killed him. This is the beauty of Lord Ram. Lord Ram is speaking this verse in Valmiki Ramayana. So Ravana did not want to bow down. So making mistakes after mistakes, but never learned. One level up, we'll make mistake, we'll reflect, go to the 6 R's and try to not repeat it. One level up, they will see others' mistake and they will understand the lesson and not repeat it. Life is too short to learn everything from our mistakes, right? So we should learn if someone made a mistake. Intelligent people are very observant. They see that this is not like if you put hand in the fire, you want to try it out, right? Anyone wants to try it out, the fire will burn or not, then I will learn and then I'll stop putting hand in the fire. Anyone wants to try? No, right? So one level up, they learn from others' mistake. And then the topmost, they are absolutely no question of even mentally, physically making a mistake. The great soul, the Supreme Lord. So this is about the mistakes. And then the qualities, actually, the last point we'll talk about. Dashratha. Ratha means the chariot. His horse, his chariot would run in 10 directions. Actually, this represents that he had control over the 10 directions. The 10 directions represent the 10 senses. Our eyes, our mind, our ears. So Dashratha means one who has controlled. Of course, He's a king, Dashrath, but the inner meaning is one who learned to control over the senses and the mind. But Ravana was Dashamukhi, opposite. Dashamukhi means trying to enjoy from 10 faces, outward. Dashrath was inward. It's a beautiful lesson. And Kishkinda in the middle, sometimes here, sometimes trying to enjoy, sometimes trying to. So there are a lot of such lessons, and we can go a lot actually talk about these lessons, but I want to hear from your thoughts as well, because there could be so many lessons we can talk about or keep discussing. But I want to hear some reflections or some comments, and anything really struck you, anything you really liked or want to share, anything really inspired you. And I want to really express my gratitude to all of your such patient and eager audience to hear and give this chance to talk about Sri Ramachandra and the wonderful qualities and the wonderful lessons we have. Just to sum up, we discussed about how Ramayana has relevance everywhere. It's not some fictional or fictitious thing. It is our real, Vedic culture. Then we talk about like Ramakien, Thailand, and Ramvan, etc. We also talk about the power of association. On a bad side, Mantra polluting Kekai, and a good side, Valmiki being transformed from Ratnakar. Then we talk about Ayodhya, Kishkinda, and Lanka. We talk about the culture of Samskriti, like Prakriti and Vikriti. Samskriti comes from samskar, the good value system, right? And it comes when we come together and read these holy scriptures. Everyone wants their children to become great, right? Anyone here don't want children to get good values or samskar? Everyone wants good samskar, impression. Samskar is basically good impression. But how will it come? It will come when we sit together and read these Bhagavad Gita, Ramayana under the guidance. Then naturally we'll learn so many lessons. It's just like we're scratching the surface. So many such values are there. So many such lessons are there. Life lessons, very practical. We're not just talking some, like everything is very relevant. Earlier, 50 years back, now because of internet, media, phones, technology and stuff, people are going away from Ayodhya, they're going to Lanka, from Sanskriti to Prakriti to Vikriti and maybe further down. But earlier, everyone was hearing this Ram Katha. They were in the evening, they would come together, hear Ramayana, and the stories of Mahabharata, Gita, etc. So we discussed the Sanskriti, Vikriti, and Prakriti and Vikriti, and we discussed about Mata Sita's remembrance, gratitude, 2 things to remember, 2 things to forget. Ravana was ungrateful, trying to steal. Mata asked for Parvati from Lord Shiva. So ungrateful, the one is trying to help. And then we also discussed about how Sugriva forgot his promise, but he came back when he was reminded after Chaturmas. And then what else we discussed? We discussed the relationship between the brothers, Ram and Bharata, selflessness. We discussed a lot of stories there. And somewhere in the middle, the 2 brothers. And we discussed the story of the cave and how the misunderstandings can lead to a lot of problems and miscommunication. So proper clarification helps. And then you forgot that I forgot to share about Ravana and Vibhishana. Yeah, should I share? Ravana and Vibhishana, basically Ravana is like my way or highway. He did not want to accept good counsel, right? We discussed that point. Vibhishana gave good counsel, get out. It's like in a company, a new general manager comes and, okay, these are the policies we have made. Everyone who accepts it, you can stay, and otherwise give your resignation letter. My way or highway. No engagement, no hearing from others, because I'm the best. How can anyone think better than me? They have to accept my way. So that's Ravana and Vibhishana. That's artificial harmony. Artificial harmony is no good, right? We're all different individuals. So we have difference of opinions. Those should be discussed out and we come to a good consensus, right? Rather than having artificial harmony, like Ravana. You have to accept it, otherwise get out. So we discussed this relationship aspect. Then we discussed about stealing. There was no question of stealing, no question of envy. Everyone was so self-satisfied. Because the real satisfaction, real wealth is not how much money one has. Real wealth is how much satisfaction one has, how much gratitude one has. Even if one has millions of dollars, but ungrateful, envying, lusty, greedy, what's the use of that wealth? That will not be used for right purpose. That wealth will. Ravana had golden, Lanka. Pure gold, not gold plated, not gold color, not gold polish. Gold, like solid gold. Lanka. But burnt to ashes, the same Lanka. So we discussed that aspect and Ravana was stealing everything. Different queens, different Pushpak Viman, Lanka, everything. Just steal. Beg, borrow, or steal. Who cares of tomorrow? I need to enjoy today, right? Who cares of the consequences? Law of action reaction doesn't work in their books because they have their own books. They don't work under guidance of Guru Sadhu Shastra. They work under the corrupted mind and intelligence. So we discussed that also. And then Dasharatha, control, Dashamukhi, outward. So I want to pause here and if we take shelter of Lord Sri Ram, all these divine qualities will eventually, by taking the process of bhakti, by doing sadhu sangha, association of like-minded devotees, we're trying to develop these qualities. We're trying to accelerate to Ayodhya virtues by chanting the holy names, by reading Bhagavad Gita. We have a lot of wonderful books. If anyone of you would like to take some spiritual books, please feel free. You can check out and pick some books, because books are very, very potent. Ramayana, Mahabharata. There are some small books also. They help us to understand things in the true perspective. From the eyes of scriptures, we can see the Saraswati within. Otherwise, we only see the surface of material world, the glamour, the glitter. But if we need to see the things in the true perspective, we need to see the eyes of scriptures or from the Shastras. Then we discussed about, so how to develop. Yasyasti bhaktir bhagavati yakinchana sarve gunai tatra samasate suraha. By rendering bhakti to Sri Ram, Sri Krishna, sarve gunai tatra sama. All divine virtues come in that person. Famous example, Valmiki we discussed. Hari abhaktasya kuto mahad guna. Hari abhakta. One who is not a devotee of Lord, one who is not trying to follow the culture of Ayodhya, there cannot be any good qualities. It's just a matter of time that external so-called good and the external so-called qualities will just pop out, like a bubble. So we discussed that also. And it's a simple process. Chant the holy names on the, a little time we can take out to remember God who has given us everything, right? How many hours we have in a day? 24. How many minutes we have in a day? Yeah. That's 1440 minutes. It's a lot, right? What's 10% of it? 144. Take 10 out. It's 10%, right? 10% is 144, right? What's 1% of it? 14, right? 14. Everyone agrees that out of 24 hours, 1% is 14 minutes only. So we can start with giving at least 1% of our day, right? Is that too much of an ask? Right? 1%, 99% should do what you want. But at least we start with 1%. Some of you are already doing it. This is great. And it's really exemplary. But we can start with this chanting one round of Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Read one shloka of Bhagavad Gita. Right? It doesn't take a lot. We spend more the time on Facebook, WhatsApp, etc. than one person, maybe a quite significant person, right? But even if we spend like 1%, then if we take one step towards the Lord will take 1,000 steps towards us. He's more eager to be with us than we are eager to be with him. He's our true friend, true parent, true mother, true father. His relationship with us will be eternal. He'll never leave us. All we have to do is realize it, understand it, and try to apply. And then life will be so blissful. And that's why we are trying to develop that loving relationship with him. So chanting the holy names, taking some prasad, reading Bhagavad Gita, even one verse takes like less than 5 minutes to read one verse. Be a sage page by page. A verse a day keeps adversity away. Shloka a day keeps shoka away. Right? So many nice things are there, and it works. It's not because it is the real manual of life. So this is my humble request, and if I misspoke anything, please correct. If you have any thoughts, questions, comments, we can discuss that as well. Thank you so much. Shri Ramchandra Bhagwan ki jai. Shri Lakshman ji ki jai. Sita Mata ki jai. Shri Hanuman ji ki jai. Shri Prabhupada ki jai. Samaveta Gaura Bhaktavinda ki jai. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
So, Mataji, please take forward.
Questions, comments, or
Reflections.
any transformations happening you want to share with everybody? We share this is our family of Jackson, so no shame.
Can I ask a question?
Yes, please.
So, the culture was really great, So just one question I have is why the movie had such kind of mind?
Yeah, for those who not know the story, the washerman story is there. Dhobi is washerman. Some may not be familiar with the Hindi words, right? So thank you for your nice question. So there are multiple reasons we can understand this. So basically, now you can ask like, why did mantra also had that mind, right? Mhm. So these are the special arrangements by the Lord for his Leela. Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, in which verse Krishna says, who will tell? For what's the reason for his coming in chapter 4?
Vinita, you go Vinita.
4.7 यदा यदा हि धर्मस्य ग्लानिर् भवति भारत अभ्युत्थानं धर्मस्य तदात्मनं सृजाम्यहम्. हरि ओम्.
And next one, yes, very good, thank you. Next one.
परित्राणाय साधूनां विनाशाय च दुष्कृतां धर्मसंस्थापनार्थाय सत्त्वाभिवृद्धये.
Very good. So the Lord comes time and again to destroy the irreligion and to reestablish the principles of religion. So this mantra actually was sent by the demigod. It's an internal reason. That's why I'm saying there are so many stories and internal reasons. It's so hard to cover in this limited time. She was specifically sent by the demigods to make this plot. Otherwise, well, how will Lord Ram go and how will this Leela happen? Right? How will Lord Ram kill Ravana? So someone has to it's a transcendental drama, right? To teach us so many lessons. The Lord comes to destroy the demons, to give pleasure to the devotees, and to teach us so many lessons. So these arrangements are done by the Leela Shakti of the Lord. Sometimes through a mantra, sometimes through dhobi, sometimes through other agents to do these pastimes. I hope that helps. Thank you so much for your wonderful question. What's your good name, sir?
My name is Deepak.
Deepak, wow. That's why there's so effulgence.
He plays amazing harmonium.
Oh, wow.
Sings really well.
That's amazing.
If you were here earlier, you could have done some Kirtan for us.
Thank you so much for
We
coming.
actually recorded a little Hare Krishna Kirtan and sent us
Wow.
one.
I would love to hear that. Thank you so much, Deepak ji, for coming. Yeah. I'm so grateful to actually everyone who is.
His mother is also here today.
Hare Krishna, namaste.
Very
Thank
hard
you.
for Mataji to travel, but she made the journey to meet with you from
Thank you.
Memphis.
हिंदी बोलते हैं आप, इंग्लिश बोल? बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद आपका, आप आए इतना दूर से, बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद।
भगवान का कथा सुनने के लिए आए थे।
बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद, बहुत अच्छा लगा आपसे।
अच्छा भी लगता है, वो आस्था संस्कार ये श्राद्ध कर देते हैं।
बहुत सुंदर, धन्यवाद। Any other thoughts, comments? हिंदी का भी कुछ बुक्स है हमारे पास अगर चाहिए, और हिंदी का कथा भी होता है तो हम आपको भेज सकते हैं।
संस्कार आस्था।
अच्छा, हाँ, उस पर भी कथा आता है।
बहुत ज्यादा शिव जी का भी होता है, शिव पुराण का, तो वो सब देखते रहते हैं।
How many understand Hindi? You? Or how many don't understand? There are a few. I have a nice story in Hindi actually from Ramayana. If you don't, but we'll and that's just the sweetness comes in sometimes in Hindi. So.
Go ahead, Prabhu.
No, but let's hear. I've been speaking for an hour. I don't want to
Okay.
God gave us 2 ears and 1 mouth, but I use it oppositely. So I want to use it rightly now to hear more from all of you. Anyone has any reflections? Anything? Reflection is something you struck you, really inspired you. Yes, Matan.
So you spoke about servant leadership. So we have a lot of kids here who are future leaders. So any thoughts, any reflections for them, what they can do, how can they apply this in their day-to-day life?
Absolutely. By learning from the examples of these great examples, like how Lord Ram was doing, always thinking about how can I give, not what can I get. Give, forgive. Get, forget is Lanka. Oh, what is my father doing for me? What is my mother doing for me? What is my uncle doing for me? Rather than thinking how I can be part of the solution, right? How can I do my best? This is for everyone, kids or adults. These principles are universal. And because they're coming, modern day people may have written a lot of management books, these books, all the management principles are basically taken from here only. Lord Ram, they seek first to understand, then to be understood. That's Lord Ram exemplifying at every moment. Give others chance to speak first. Right? Nowadays there are famous authors who say, leaders eat last, leaders speak last. Right? But Lord Ram exemplified that. When Vibhishana was coming and there was a meeting, what should we do? Looks like a spy, looks like an enemy. And there was a meeting going on. Some said, oh, let's kill him. Some said, let's tie him. Some said, no, hey, let's bury him. Some said, no, maybe he's helpful. Lord Ram said, if you agree, can I share my perspective? As your humble servant leader, right? Actually, Harvard Business Review also wrote an article about true leadership is out of humility. Humble leaders are the best leaders. So this is our, developing these qualities and trying to understand that what can I do best in my current situation. And of course, right now it's their time to for kids, it's more time to follow, because a true leader is a great follower, right? But those who don't want to follow, how can they be a leader? So in this phase of time, there is more of a follower and learn like Lakshmana more. And at the right time, all the divine qualities will come, and that phase will also come. And in their small way, they can be given some responsibilities, empower them, educate. One of my teachers said, educate, engage, enrich, entertain also. Kids don't want to hear a lot of philosophy. They want some nice stories, entertaining, engaging, and it should be enlightening, not just entertaining, right? We don't want cartoons, right? We hear which will not just entertain but enlighten also, and then empower in their small way. There is always some empowerment. It could be at home, it could be in a small community, The kids have a lot of potential. Often adults undermine the potential of kids actually, because they think I can't learn verses, so how can kids learn? They think I can't learn a language, how can kids learn? Because kids, they just need little exposure, they'll just grab it. Their intellect is much higher actually. So this was a research done that, because we think in our own way, right? If I can't do something, I'll think maybe it's too difficult, everyone can't do it. But kids have a lot more potential than adults actually to learn anything actually. Right? You agree with that?
Yes.
How many of you agree with that? I certainly agree. Research has been done on that as well. So yeah, these few things we can do. It applies to everyone actually. Very nice. And our scriptures are full of these principles of these topics. Thank you.
Yeah, I think those 20 lessons you have, we have to have you keep coming back and 20 times and give us a couple lessons.
You're all such
Or
amazing.
we can do Zoom sessions with the same group and you.
I try my best to serve in whatever capacity I can, because this association is so wonderful. All of you are so honeybees, eager for the honey of Ram Katha and the hidden treasures of Saraswati. So,
Okay, any other questions? Thoughts? Anyone wants to say anything special to Shubha Prabhu for this such powerful, beautiful Ram Katha and such amazing lessons?
everyone is, I think, too tired of sitting for a long time. Maybe we can chant a bhajan and then wrap up. What do you think? Is that okay? Or you want that Hindi story? Whatever you say. Okay, and the prasad. Actually, it's about prasad only. So it will be good to. Okay, if everyone is okay, but yeah, I think it's. So let's sing this nice bhajan. And all of you must be tired. You can stand and dance also. It's absolutely fine. You can stand, clap, chant, dance along, right? So, and we'll sing this wonderful bhajan. If everyone who all agree with this, you can say Jai Shri Ram.
Jai Shri Ram.
Looks like you're not really in this. If you really, really agree, then you can loudly say.
Jai Shri Ram.
Yeah, so you can. आप इसको scroll करोगे at the right time, हाँ अभी.
Okay.
Maybe. राम जिनका नाम है, अयोध्या जिनका धाम है. That's not coming properly, right? Let's let it. Let's Good. Okay. राम जिनका नाम है, अयोध्या जिनका धाम है, श्री रघुनाथ को मेरा बार बार प्रणाम. राम जिनका नाम है,
Hare
Nitya Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Vilas Jackson, Jackson. It is so blissful. आज के आनंद की Now we have calories. We have a lot of prasadam, all the wonderful devotees and we are prasadam. So please honor. This is a very sacred act of honoring Krishna because of the remnants of Krishna. Right? Very, very powerful. So please honor.
Prabhuji, please say the prayers.
Sure. Mahaprasade Govinde,
Mahaprasade Govinde,
Namo Brahmane Vaishnave,
Namo Brahmane Vaishnave,
Kalpa Punya Vitamrajan,
Kalpa Punya Vitamrajan,
Vasone Vajayate,
Vasone Vajayate,
Karira Avijyaja,
Karira Avijyaja,
Karindriya Tanika,
Karindriya Tanika,
Jive Pele Shaya Sagare,
Jive Pele
Taramati Jivati,
Taramati Jivati,
Yavama Sudhimati,
Sudhimati,
Ake Jika Pati Sansare,
Ake Katha
Krishna Bharadayamar,
Krishna Bharadayamar,
Haribal Jivajay,
Bharadayamar,
Prasadam Vilomhar,
Prasadam Vilomhar,
Namrit Bhao, Shri Radha Krishna Gundao,
Shri Radha Krishna Gundao,
Shri Sita Ram Gundao,
Shri Sita Ram Gundao,
Gato Shri Chaitanya Nitai,
Shri Chaitanya Nitai,
Nimai Janitai,
Janimai Janitai,
Shri Krishna Chaitanya,
Shri Krishna Chaitanya,
Prabhu Nityananda,
Prabhu Nityananda,
Advaita Gadadhar,
Shri Advaita Gadadhar,
Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda,
Srivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare,
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare,
Hare Rama, Hare Rama,
Hare Rama, Hare Rama,
Rama Rama, Hare Hare,
Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Shri Bhagavad Mahaprasadam,
Jai.
all the groups ki,
Jai.
all the assembled devotees ki.
Jai.
Thank you to all the online assembled devotees also. Thank you so much for your association.
Thank